morning, everyone. I had to turn my phone off. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that prayed yesterday and continued to pray for my son-in-law, John, who had surgery yesterday. And yesterday the answer was yes. God had his hands in everything. The surgery went well. My son-in-law was released to come home last night. He is still in pain. But again, there's been so much trauma to his body that it has to have time to heal. So please continue your prayers that he will get through this and be able to take care of his little Princess T, because she has to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with her pop. My family and my daughter are very, very grateful for all the support you have shown our family, and we know that John is on the road to recovery. That being said, I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm going to keep saying it until folks understand it. Please trust the process. Been in this business for 20 years. Trust the process. I know what works. I know how it works. And I know why it works. So just trust the process. And if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. The reason being is I put up shorts for the holiday season. They're 7-second videos, and they highlight all of the author's books. They're very creative and they're very in your face. This morning I looked at all of the shorts I had put up to date. All of the authors are up except for mine. I only have one of mine up. But as of this morning, we've had 1,142 views on 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 shorts. 14 shorts. We have 1,142 views. After I put these up on the YouTube site, I then moved them over to the website. So, and they're also up here on our social media. So they are being seen everywhere. And I am asking all of the authors that when I do put them up here on our our Facebook page, that you share them. Midnight Publishing does a lot of things that other publishing houses don't do, and we don't charge for it. Not only do we publish your book, but we start promoting that book before it's ever released. We also continue to promote that book through live videos, through YouTube, through the website, through social media. We don't just do one and done. We continue to support our authors because they are the reason we do what we do. Their voice needs to be heard. So with that being said, I want to tell you some releases that are coming out just in time for the holiday season. Carol Spiridois had a little book out called Delilah, the Curious Flamingo, and Her Christmas Town. Well, she has since released, which will go live on November the 30th, Delilah, the Curious Flamingo Goes to the Craft Store. And Delilah has never been to the craft store, so she takes her best friend with her, and off they go for a new adventure. That book goes live on Kindle and in paperback on November the 30th. Gwendolyn Law, her book September's Chill, has been out for a year yesterday. I could not believe that book has been out for a year. She was one of the very first authors that came on board with me when I started this journey. I am forever grateful to her. She went quiet for a while, but now she's back, and she has written or created a coloring book called Gwendolyn's Coloring Therapy. It goes live in 2 days. It is also a book for survivors and thrivers of domestic violence. September's Chill is her journey through domestic violence. And Gwendolyn just said it was officially out in the UK on 11/29 of last year. So, Gwendolyn, thank you, my dear. I'm so proud of you. Since then, Gwendolyn has released, or will be releasing on 11/24, her book of poetry called Fractured Soul. Again, these are poems of Gwendolyn's journey through her life that many of us can relate to as we read them over and over and over again. On a lighter note, we are releasing her coloring book for all ages. It's a Christmas coloring book. It will be released on 11/21. So there are 4 brand new releases coming out just in time for the holiday season. I am working on something for a new author. Her name's Darlene JoJo, and it will be released again before the holiday season. Gwendolyn, thank you, honey. She says you bless our lives. Darlene's book is called The Gift, and it is a beautiful, beautiful book. I'm waiting on her to send me the final manuscript. It is a children's book, and it talks about a gift that we give ourselves. So, I want to give you a rundown of all of the books that are currently available and books that have been out for a while. Andrea Dean Van Scoyak's book, The Sacredness of Every Day, How Celtic Christianity Still Survives in a World Lost to Modern Civilization, and her other spiritual inspiration book, Welcome to Crowhaven Chapel. Both of these books meet a need in our world, and that need is there are folks out there who worship differently. Doesn't make them better or worse than us. The goth community is looked down upon. They are considered, I don't know, scary. They're not. They just dress differently. And so, if you're in the goth community, you probably know somebody that is. Welcome to Crowhaven Chapel would be a great little daily devotional for that person. Also, if you know someone that is in the Celtic community, The Sacredness of Everyday Living would be a great spiritual inspiration for that person. We have Carol Bellavance's new release, Open Hearts and Safe Haven Prayer. This is a beautiful, beautiful inspirational devotional for everyone. Then we have Alpha Desinoid, My Soul Trust in the Lord, another spiritual inspirational poetry book that can also be used as a daily devotional. Then we have Peggy Engler's books, spiritual inspirational, mainly for women, but I have known men that read them too. A Closer Walk, An Encouraging Word, Food for Thought, Soulful Inspirations, A View from the Pew, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Jojo, you're very welcome. Then we have Jason Wolfgang Gerhardt's book, The Ferryman. Now, when I was up at late last night, working on the computer, I found out that the Christmas promo that I did for his book was in the top 20% of a challenge I put it in. We're doing something right here, folks. Andrew D. Manskowick also has other books out there that are novels. A Man of Two Worlds, The Two, Fallen from Grace Found in Shadow, An Eternity in Shadow, Tales from Blackford Manor. So many, many books out there that are re-released books. She also came on board right after we started this adventure together. Mary Brotherton. I gotta love that woman. Love her dearly. She has 2 adult books out, Faith and Folly, which talks about some of her foolish decisions that she's not sure how she got through except through her faith. We can all relate to that. Her second adult book that is currently out is called Steep Steps. It is a novel about sexual addiction, but it can be relatable to any addiction and anything, any habit that, yes, Mary is precious, Gwendolyn, any habit that rules one's life is not a habit anymore. It is an addiction. And with any addiction, it takes self-control, resilience, and a stubborn intuitiveness and tenaciousness to break it. So you will always be addicted to it, but you have to learn how to not let it take over your life. Mary's children's book, Sally's Heart, is about a young woman who donated her heart to someone else. It's written so that children understand about organ donation and why organ donation is so important. My Angel book is yet another children's book that talks about there's angels all around us in different forms. She has 3 If I Could books. If I Could Be a Mermaid, If I Could Be a Giant, and If I Could Be a Butterfly. These are books of children's imaginations. If I Could Be a Mermaid talks about how a child wants to be a mermaid to swim in the ocean and see the fishes, but yet in reality, if this child were a mermaid, it could not hug its parents. If I Could Be a Giant turned out to be an anti-bullying book because children are bullied by their peers, by teachers, by adults, by strangers, by family. And in this book, it talks about if I could be a giant, I could overcome all that. If I Could Be a Butterfly, again, is filled with a child's imagination of if I could be. And all of these If I Could books teaches a child it's okay to imagine. Sharks Bite, Writers Right is a children's book by Mary Brotherton that talks about it's okay. It's okay to imagine things. It's okay to write about those things one imagines. If you are a parent and your child is telling you these wonderful stories, please do not discourage them. Because as we grow older, we lose that wonder, that imagination, that ability to be a natural storyteller. I was suppressed as a child. It took me many years to understand it's okay. So in the book, Sharks Bite and Writers Write, at the back of the book, there are lines for a child to write a story. Then we have The World's Best Grandfather that is coming out in 2 days. This little book I highly recommend for every parent to have their child give to their grandfather, whether by blood or by design, for the holiday season, and let that grandfather read to them. Mary took grandfathers from just about all over the world, found the name that children call their grandfathers, and we created a book with those grandfathers in that book. At the back of the book, It tells us who the world's best grandfather is. I think that is all of them. I may have left one out. If I did, I'm sorry. But go on Amazon and pull up Mary Brotherton, and you will see all of her books. Who else do I have out there that's coming on board? Oh, yes, Mary, thank you. At 10:30, we will be on our podcast called All Things Books and Publishing. It goes live on our other Facebook page on Off the Chain. It also goes live on our YouTube channel. It's going to be a busy day, so we are working on new and wonderful books, new and wonderful authors. We have a new author coming on board. Her name is Elsa Ward. I cannot talk this morning. I cannot wait to get her new manuscript and to get her books out there. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of our authors, we charge nothing here for anything that we do for you. It is all a gift of love. And again, subscribe to our YouTube site. Share the YouTube site, because the more you share, the more views we get for your books. This morning, 1,142 views just on the shorts. That doesn't include the podcast and the lives that we do. So I will be putting up the the podcast after the podcast goes live. So until tomorrow, have the day that you deserve. And to my authors, I love you. I appreciate you. And let's continue this wonderful journey. Oh, I'm forgetting Bonnie Clark. I knew I was forgetting somebody before I go. Errol's Journey. You have to get that book. I know you know someone that is dealing with cancer. This is her late husband's story that he wrote, that she put in manuscript form. Thank you, Bonnie. I'm so glad you showed up. Thank you. It's been a night. Thank you for reminding me. I would never intentionally leave out any of my authors. They're very important to me. Very, very important to me. So, have the day you deserve. I'll see y'all later on the podcast.